When we first found out that they made $1 million, Austin was actually with me once it crossed the $1 million mark, and he went crazy. The fact that so many people really liked the brand and we were able to also help and give so much money as well, I think is what made us the happiest. Like, money is never their ultimate goal. It was when they started, because they were kids that wanted toys, but it has morphed into something else.
We didn't have a warehouse.
We did have a warehouse.
We have a house.
My name is Celena Gill. I'm 47 years old. I'm the CEO of Frères Branchiaux Candle Company, and we started in October 2017, and we are now valued at $2 million. When they first approached me with the idea to earn money, they didn't know what they wanted to make. So I made them research about which kid businesses were the most profitable, and those were the businesses that made bath bombs, soaps, and candles. So we learned how to make all three, and candles went out. I am from the 757 area of Southern Virginia. My mother was an accountant growing up, and my father was a trained brakesman. My father had some issues with substance abuse. Financially, we made middle class, but we didn't always live middle class. I felt like I was always in a state of worry and anxiety about money. Because my mother worried about money a lot, it passed on to me. I was 12 when I got my first job, and that was to contribute to the household. I worked at a crab picking factory in Newport News, Virginia. But in high school, my father went to AA, so we didn't have issues with money anymore, literally. I became a special ed teacher. I went to the George Washington University. I got a master's in education and special education, so I taught in the DC area for a number of years. I burnt out as a special ed teacher, and I wanted to get more on the advocate side, so I actually went to Rutgers University School of Law and became a special ed attorney. In 2006, my mother passed away of breast cancer. And when she passed away, the last conversation I had with her was, if you don't want to be a lawyer, don't be a lawyer. But if you do, but do the things you want to do. But I still practice law. So I should do business law. So I do law for creatives. And that was primarily because my mother was like, please do everything that interests your heart, because life goes by fast and you never know when you might leave this earth.
So we started our company in 2017, Frères Branchiaux, in our house, in the kitchen. Didn't have a desire for like going after money. We just wanted more games and stuff like that.
We wanted the name Frères Branchiaux because it means Gill brothers in French.
It was definitely 100% their idea, because I had been a teacher before and I wasn't really happy with what was going on in the public school system. I pulled them out to homeschool them. They had a French tutor who always called them my little Branchiaux. I said, how about Frères Branchiaux? It means Brothers Gill, and it worked out.
We called some friends to help us that were in candle making to help us learn how to make candles and get the right wax to fragrance ratio. We started selling candles at the back of our minivan at football and baseball games. And after that, it just like kind of blew up.
They were 12, 9, and 7. People purchased the candles and the products and were like, oh my God, these are really good products. These really smell good. They're sustainable and they burn clean. And then we started to get repeat customers, because at that point, it wasn't just a cute kid product.
Sometimes we were starting out, we would stay up to like 3 o'clock in the morning, packing orders and doing stuff like that. And sometimes we can't stay as long because we have other extracurricular activities like football practice or baseball practice or homework and stuff like that.
I was the head researcher in terms of how to make them, do the marketing. My husband still worked full time, so I would ask him to help when needed. But I was the one who learned all the stuff via YouTube and Google University, and also calling some people that we knew locally who made candles.
The things that they did to actually start the business, how they really knew the foundation of the business, how they ran the business themselves, really gave us the insight that they would be able to kind of maximize the potential of the business over the years.
Each kid had a different duty usually. We really didn't want them all doing the same thing, because they're kids and they're brothers, they play a lot. Maybe Ryan would make room sprays, and Collin would make candles, and Austin would make diffusers.
For me, it feels Actually kind of relaxing. Smell these scents while we're working. It sometimes calms me down.
I feel relaxed pouring a candle, making the scent I want. I'm in my own creative space. The real monumental shift is our first vending event at NPR. We brought, I think, like 100 or 200 candles, and we sold out. And we had to write people's orders down. We had to deliver them the next day because people were wanting our candles. From that vending experience, we really realized that we could actually be a real business.
They were featured on the front page of the Metro section of the Washington Post. Because of that article, we had so many different news agencies contacting us to do stories. And the next week, Good Morning America had them on. My husband and I have a really large network, and we got in Target from a cold email. Girlfriend of mine, she's already in Target. She sent me 3 emails, and she was like, I don't know what they're gonna say. I don't even know if they're the right person to talk to. Just send them an email. I sent 3 emails. One of the people that I sent the emails to responded, and that's how we got into Target. So now we work with different chains in the Marriott brand, do custom scents for them, do a lot with Facebook and Instagram. We work with Stars Network, we work with Paramount, Pixar. We work with the Commanders here. We just actually delivered 2,000 candles to them a couple of days ago.
Our target demographic is like West Coast customers. They're the ones that really kind of buy into what we mean as a company. We will fly out to like California, other West Coast states to sell. The customers that over there, they really enjoy our candles. They really enjoy our story and how we became a company.
The first year, because it was only November to December, they made about $2,100. The second full year, they made $125,000. The third year, they made about $250,000. The fourth year, they made $725,000. The fifth year, they made $1.5 million. And this year, not quite $1.5 million. But we'll get close enough to it that we're happy. It's just a recession year. And what we had to do was shift because less people are buying online. So what we did was we shifted to more retail sales. And with more retail sales is less profit. So doing more partnerships now.
The first 2 years, maybe I might not be as involved as the business as I am now, but I still will be a part of the business.
In the future with this business, I see myself as being on the board of directors, but no longer in a CEO role. I want to be able to evolve the business and put it in the hands of people that can take it to higher heights than I can. For myself, I have other business aspirations. I applied to be in a program called Partner to Empower. It's with Brookfield Properties. What they do is they build out stores for minority vendors. They don't pay the rent. They don't help you with that. They don't help you with retail sales, but what they will do is give you an education about how to open a brick and mortar store to be successful. Then you open up in one of their locations. And they had one in Portland, Oregon, which is about maybe an hour and 45 minutes from Eugene. And I was like, well, he's gonna be an Oregon Duck. A lot of West Coast fans. And I can move out there for a year and open the store, but also make sure Collin's fine because he's literally going on the West Coast. It's a unicorn story. I mean, there are not that many African-American boys making candles that are brothers. I mean, there are African-American, candle companies. They're probably one of the first who had such exposure.
No matter what business that they do, family and the foundation of how we started the company is what's essential. And it's a generational business that I understand and hope that they would take and pass down through the generations of our family.
In a decade, we see ourselves as multimillionaires.
In 10 years, I see the business as a multi-million-dollar company and have stores and connections all around the world.
In 10 years from now, for me, it's to be a multi-billionaire and be the first company to light a candle on Mars. First astronauts to land on Mars and light our candle.
I don't think you can light a candle in space.
Exactly.
There's no oxygen.
There's no oxygen.
Fire
on
need.
Mars.